G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel, another video. This is another repotting video, another trident maple, so you can see how much I love trident maples. This is a tree that's still in progress. It's needs a lot more refinement, but you can see some rough detail of this tree. Probably the highlight of this tree at the moment is this awesome nabari. It's really come along really well, like it's a beautiful nabari. Now it's pretty much just working the rest of the tree and getting it to a point where it's going to be in a show. So obviously you can see the pot on the right hand side, that it's a really unusual glazed reddy bronze look, burgundy. It's quite interesting. The tree it's in right now is a beautiful Japanese container that's quite old, but it's a round pot and it just doesn't suit this tree. I don't like the look of that combination myself. I prefer this tree in a oval or a soft edged pot, which this is. Even though it's rectangle, it's got this nice soft kind of edge to it. I think it'll look really nice in this. Something a bit different, but I think it might suit the tree. I'm trying to imagine it also in autumn when the leaves change colour. It'll look good against that red. Something a bit different than my usual creams and greens. I think this is an interesting tree to attempt that on. Yeah, it's another repotting, so I'll take you through the process again. So always the fun when you repot is seeing how the tree has developed in the previous year. So let's have a. This has got that lip in there as well, so it's going to be a bit tricky to get it out. But yeah, I'll do it as I normally do. This is my root hook. It's got the root hook this side, so you can scrape the roots, and then it's got this, which usually you use to tap moss and stuff, but I actually use it to get in between the edge and the soil. So one thing I haven't done yet is cut the wire that's holding the tree into its pot. So let's cut that off. Let's have a look underneath how many I've got. Just the one. So it should hopefully pull out. Pretty tight. That's going to tell me probably lots of roots in there. And also, the roots are starting to come out the base. Looks pretty solid. I'm guessing in 1 year this tree has filled that pot quite heavily. So let's see if I'm right. Let's get back into it. Sorry, let's go. There's no way that's going to come out because of the lip. So I just got to get in there and tease it out slowly. Oh, solid with roots. You can see the roots already. Just got to watch the branches so I don't knock them. You can see the tree's now slowly coming out of its pot. It's there. There we go. It's full of roots again. Again, not much left in terms of soil, etc. A little bit in the pot. I'll get rid of that pot and clean it for another tree in the future. So just give you a little spin around. There's the roots again. Lots of fantastic roots. So let's have a crack at getting rid of that and see how we go. So I just can reiterate about having a really good mix of soil. I just use pumice and pine bark nuggets at the moment. I'll put a link to in my description for my soil video and how I make it. But that's the beauty of 1 year. Like, I can't leave it 2 years because there'd be no more room for the tree. So let's get stuck into it. I forgot my gloves. Sometimes I like to work without gloves, but not today. When it's cold, sometimes my fingers, I can't feel them. So it's better to just use gloves. So try and get rid of the moss as well. I've got a chance. And the weeds. Doesn't take long to repot a tree, especially if they're at this stage where you are continually repotting them. And they've got a really nice fibrous root system already. It doesn't take long at all. And if you've got your stuff all set up ready, you've got your tools ready, got your soil ready, it's probably the most important, you're having your soil mixed and ready to go. It's just sitting to the right of me, you can't see it in the camera, but I've got a bucket, a rubbish bin I should say, full of potting mix, or not potting mix, my own mix. So just get stuck into this tree. I always comb the top bit out first. Yeah, this is a lovely tree now. Tridents are excellent trees, especially for new people I find. If you're new to bonsai, tridents are very forgiving. So they're a great tree to work on, and they're a great tree to grow, great tree that will develop quite quickly, in no time at all. I still grow these guys from seed, I love it. So usually I'm in the market for a good, someone's grown these tridents, you know, for a few years. It's nice to pick up one and grow it on myself, because then you can really look after the root system as it grows. So you can see the roots are just absolutely growing everywhere. It's so healthy. 1 year, that tells you everything. Tridents are awesome. Now, there's a couple of trees in my collection that are a bit more advanced that I haven't potted for 2 years. So when I do the video on those, it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to look. Because I couldn't pot them because they were going to be in the exhibition, or they were in the exhibition last year at the time when repotting, I needed to repot it. And from that exhibition, I was so exhausted that I was too tight to repot any of those trees that I hadn't repotted, so I just left them. So have a look at this. Have a look at this massive hair. Scrape it, scrape. Oh, it's fantastic. I always like to try and keep a clean area, otherwise you lose your tools. So let's grab some nice, here's my scissors. Let's get stuck into it. So pretty much give this a haircut, this one. This is pretty easy. I can see the tree is extremely healthy. No need to worry about this guy. Let's give it a nice chop. So again, nice big flat base that's quite hollow in the middle. So it means that the soil sits in there and the tree, look at that, there you go. You can go even harder. I know people even trim even harder than that with tridents. Oh, that's all I need to go, I think. Just get rid of some of these big heavier ones in the middle. There you go, another big haircut. Get rid of all those roots. There you have it, ready to go. I'm just going to give it a rinse under the water, just to get rid of any fine stuff, and then I'll be back. So, just gave it a nice rinse under the tap, the jet stream, hardly anything came off it. This tree is doing really well. It's going to look fantastic. Now I'm tempted actually, it's a straight tree like that. Sometimes I'm tempted to actually turn it a little bit. Maybe that's why I had it in a round pot. So that looks quite nice, because you can see this big heavy root and you can see the breadth of foliage there. So, but all the branches aren't in the right spot, but they could be developed. So this guy could still grow out to there. Yeah, so I don't like it too much front on, so I think I'm going to actually put it at the best base and try and just rebuild the tree, rebuild the branching. So I think you've got to give it its best chance. So I hope you can see that looks much better than if I turn it straight on. Even though the branching's better at this angle, let's look at it myself. So yeah, equally this side's good too. Maybe that's why I had it in a round pot. I'm just thinking. So it's tricky, isn't it? Even I'm undecided now. That's a good spot. So I reckon you got actually two good angles. I reckon the straight one is kind of uninteresting. I think that's a goner. I don't want to do that. I think that's too boring where it's straight on, where the trunk's straight. That's looking really nice too. Branching again. And then you got this side too. This side, there's a bit of a gap here. It's the only thing that's giving it a negative on this side. Whilst you can see all the nice new roots growing there, it's got some wounds it's got to heal up on this side. This side is actually, I'm really liking this side for some reason. I think that's nicer. All these branches is just a matter of bending them this way, bringing them around more, and you can start to form that up. So, fun times when you got interesting decisions to make that will make the tree look better. I'm thinking that side. That gives you the best. Gives you a really good base. That's going to give me too many wounds to look at. You know what? Maybe eventually we'll change to this side. At the moment, the straight bit, it's too straight, too boring. Whereas that's looking really nice. So I think that's going to make my decision for me for now. I really like that as the new front. So let's see if it actually fits in the pot with that as the new front. So let's have a look. It'll be close because the width is quite substantial because of this big guy at the back here. So maybe that will hinder my challenge to get it in a pot, but let's give it a go. Alright, so just getting the pot ready. I'll put the wires towards the back because I want to wire the back down of the tree. Get some soil in. Now, because I'm going to place the tree like that, I want it actually moving this way, so I might have to put more soil on that side rather than directly in the middle. So let's have a look. I'm just going to try and position this tree how I see the front, and hopefully it fits into the pot. That's the best front. Oh, it's a tight squeeze, but it looks like it's going to be in. It's in. Now it's just positioning it, getting it in the right position for the front. So I think that gives me the best base. But I'm just going to get it because I just want to raise this side a little bit so it's not falling too much. That's that way. I hope that makes sense. So there we go. It's a bit of a tight fit, but it looks good. A little bit tighter than I'd like, but I like it. So you can see it's a slight movement that way. It's the best Nabari, best front for the base. Really nice. I really like that. Just want to make sure the whole tree's coming forward. From that angle you can see it coming nicely forward. It'd be great if I can bend this branch into here eventually. It'd be really good. Might try that over the coming spring and growing season. But yeah, it's in. It's a bit of a tight squeeze, but I think it looks really nice in this pot. It's a little bit that side potted, more gap on this side. Now I'm just going to work it in, make sure the soil is in right around the roots. Tighten it back. Now it's securely in this pot. I'm just making sure that's the front. So yeah, there we go. Looks really nice. I really like it there in this pot. Suits it. Now it's just a matter of putting the soil in and working it into the base, and that is really nice. I'm very happy with changing the front of the tree. Now we just got to work on getting all these branches in the right spot. I did wire some of these guys earlier in winter. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to bring this guy all the way around. This guy's in the right spot. That's good too. Apex is looking okay. It's a little bit straight in here, but if you look at it at the right angle, it looks like it's going this way. So, very nice. So let's get the soil in and finish this tree and have another one done for the year. I should really get my saw scoop because it's a bit harder to do this with a bigger container, but it's all doable. So let's get my trusty chopstick and let's work it in. Make sure we get it underneath the roots that are exposed. Repotting can be quite a cumbersome task, or not that enjoyable. You know, it's a bit of a maintenance thing. We're not being creative. Sometimes you are though. Like today, changing the front and getting it into this pot. So, you know, they're all nuances and interesting bits when you come to repot. My favourite thing with repotting is actually seeing the roots that have grown and how much the tree's grown in that year. It's always fun. And like this tree was exploding pretty much. Exploding with roots. It's fantastic. It's great when you see that. You feel a sense of accomplishment. You know, and you know, all this tree does is sit on my bench. It's in full sun. It is under a sprinkler system, so that helps me in summer, so my trees don't dry out. I feed it with my tea bag fertilizers that you've probably seen in other videos. In another video of mine. So dynamic lifter, liquid feed pretty much when I remember. So don't give it to, I don't overly look after them and spoil them or whatever it is, but I do, you keep up the health of the tree. You can't not water them, and if you go away, you've got to really make sure my sprinkler is working properly. Not that I go away very often, very rarely, or someone stays at your house and looks after your trees for you. That's another great option. Yeah, so this coming season, I'll try and get the branches to form around this base. It really does. I'm really happy with that because this root is quite it's heavy, but there's a gap there. I mean, that's an interesting front as well, but because of this huge gap here, it just wouldn't pull it off. I don't think I can pull it off with this huge guy. I would have to put root grafts and let it grow for many years. But in this case, that front's more natural and realistic and not overly over the top. It's really quite nice. Yeah. Make sure we fill in the gaps, fill any air pockets, try and get rid of them. There you go. Change pot, change angle. I'm just going to water the tree and I'll come back and show you the final result. So here's the tree watered. You see the nice colour of that pot now. And there's the tree, slightly new angle. And I just noticed it's not a huge difference, but it's not straight anymore. The straight part doesn't look that good. But now this angle, little slight angle, adds a huge different, I think, dimension to it. I love that base. It's all about that base. So, hope you enjoyed this, guys. Another video to the collection of repotting. So, repotting is very easy once you get the hang of it. So, any new beginners out there, just go for it, guys. It's not that hard. Make sure everything's set up and ready, tools ready to go, and yeah, go for it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you haven't, as you'll get notifications of new videos. So enjoy, guys. Thanks very much again.